Today we'll have two amazing stories of interesting people who went from being really poor to, to becoming rich. A young lad was born in Brooklyn, New York on July 19, 1953 to an ex-US Army trooper and then truck driver Fred and his wife Elaine. The family was very poor, and at the age of 3 years old, the young lad had to move along with his family into an affordable living federal housing project in Canarsie, a neighborhood in southeastern Brooklyn. A subsidized housing project meant for supporting really poor families. The young lad was a natural athlete, leading the basketball courts around his home and the football field at school. He made his escape from Canarsie Federal Housing Project with a football scholarship to Northamerica University in 1970. After graduating from the university with Bachelor of Science degree in Communication, that was in 1975, the young man found work as an appliance salesman for Hammerblast, a company that sold European coffee makers in the United States. He quickly rose through the ranks to become director of sales by the early 1980s. This young man noticed he was selling more coffee makers to a small store operation in Seattle, Washington, rather than to other department stores like Macy's and Sears. So every month, every quarter, the order numbers were going up for this store. So the young man made up his mind to go visit Seattle. So he walked into the coffee bean store located in Seattle's Pike Place in 1981. At that time, this store had only been around for 10 years and had 4 stores, all located in Seattle. The store's original owners, old college buddies Jerry Baldwin, Gordon Booker, and their neighbor Jeff Siegel had founded these 4 stores in 1971. The 3 friends had also come up with the coffee company's mermaid logo. The young man who visited this store in Seattle as Howard Schultz, who would later become the CEO of Starbucks. Howard Schultz walked into this old bean coffee store in Seattle, which was called Starbucks Coffee, Tea and Spice Company in those days. Howard Schultz tasted his first sip of Sumatra and had a conversation with the connoisseurs who took great care in finding and roasting the finest quality coffee, but also sharing their passion with others. So in 1982, when Starbucks had only 4 stores, Howard moved to Seattle from his native New York and joined the company as Director of Operations and Marketing at the age of 29. A year later, after joining Starbucks in 1983, Howard traveled to Italy and became captivated with the Italian coffee bars and the romance of the coffee experience. He had the vision to bring Italian coffee house traditions to America. He wanted to create a place for human connection, conversation, and one that fostered a sense of community, a third place between work and home. He left Starbucks for a short period of time to start his own Il Giornale coffee houses and returned in again in August 1987 as Chief Executive Officer to purchase Starbucks with the help of local investors. From the beginning, Howard set out to build a different kind of company, the one that delivers business excellence through a culture of compassion. In these early days, Howard created 2 landmark programs rooted in the fundamental belief that a business can only exceed expectations by sharing success with its people and the communities it serves. First, Starbucks offered comprehensive health coverage for eligible full and part-time workers, among the first in the retail industry. Secondly, Starbucks offered partners or employees equity in the company in the form of stock called the Beanstalk. Starbucks has opened over 33,000 stores in 80 countries around the world and keeps opening a few more stores every day around the world. Howard Schultz built his fortune in multiple billions through his hard work and ingenuity in recognizing opportunities at the right time. Now moving on to the second person in this video. There was the birth of a boy on November 11, 1974 in Los Angeles, California, to Ermelin, a legal secretary, and George, an underground comics artist and distributor. The couple had met while attending college and moved to Los Angeles after graduation. Ermeline was German descent and George was Italian descent. Ermeline, during her pregnancy, first felt the kick from the fetus in the belly while she was looking at a Leonardo da Vinci painting in the Uffizi Museum in Florence, Italy. So it's probably easy to guess the second person in this story is Leonardo DiCaprio. When Leonardo DiCaprio was 1 year old, his parents divorced after his father fell in love with another woman and he moved out. To raise him together, his parents moved into twin cottages with a shared garden in Eco Park, Los Angeles. This was a very poor neighborhood plagued with prostitution, crime, and violence. DiCaprio's father lived with his girlfriend and her son Adam Farrar, with whom DiCaprio developed a close bond. Leo grew up with his mother and father living in this twin cottage. Leo describes his parents as bohemian in every sense of the word and as the people I trust the most in this world. DiCaprio and his mother later moved to other neighborhoods such as the Los Feliz, attending the Los Angeles Center for Enriched Studies for 4 years and later the Seeds Elementary School. He later enrolled at the John Marshall High School. DiCaprio disliked public school and wanted to audition for acting jobs, and so he dropped out of high school later, eventually earning a general equivalency diploma. As a child, DiCaprio wanted to become either a marine biologist or an actor. He eventually favored the later, becoming an actor. He liked impersonating characters and imitating people and enjoyed seeing their reactions to his acting. According to DiCaprio, his interest in performance began at the age of 2 when he went onto the stage at a performance festival and danced spontaneously to a positive response from the crowd. He was also motivated to learn acting when Farrar's appearance in a television commercial earned him $50,000. At the beginning of his career, DiCaprio had difficulty finding an agent. When he found one, the agent suggested DiCaprio to change his name to Lenny Williams to appeal more to the American audiences, which he declined to do. DiCaprio remained jobless for a year and a half, although he had 100 auditions. Following this lack of success, DiCaprio was going to give up acting, but his father persuaded him to continue the auditions. Leo's base salary for the movie Titanic was $2.5 million. Leo wisely negotiated a 1.8% gross revenue share of the back-end profits. After Titanic went on to become a gross revenue of $3 billion worldwide as a success, Leo ended up getting a total of about $14 million from this movie. Leo's story is of perseverance through the hard times. All of his experiences have shaped him to be an amazing actor that he portrays in each one of the scenes and in all his movies.